What is going on, Life Fitness Coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Training Podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about this idea of connection. I spent some time this week really taking a step back from the day-to-day of my business. And I heard this story and I wanted to pass this along to you guys. And this story was of these two lumberjacks. So these two lumberjacks are out in the forest and both of them work the same hours every day. And all they do is chop wood. They just chop wood, they chop wood, and they chop wood. And one of the lumberjacks stays the entire day and chops wood all days. And the other lumberjack chops wood for half the day, leaves for an hour, comes back, continues to chop wood, and then at the end of the day, they compare. Lumberjack number two that always leaves for an hour has a lot more wood chopped than lumberjack number one, who just sat there the entire time just chopping wood. So lumberjack number one goes up to lumberjack number two and he says, "Hey, how do you have more wood than me? And where do you go for an hour in the middle of the day? All I've been doing is just sitting here and chopping wood. And you left for an hour and you've got more wood on your pile than I do." And lumberjack number two looks at him and goes, "Oh, yeah, I left to sharpen my axe." And I thought that was such an interesting story because I find myself being lumberjack number one at times. And the reason I wanted to come on here and speak about connection is I think that the connection that you feel towards your goals and the connection that you feel towards your dreams and the amount of self-belief you have in regards to you going after the things that you want, and the amount of clarity that you have on the vision that you have, I think that is sharpening your axe. It's this connection to the vision. It's this connection to the idea that your life can get better. It's this connection to this thought of a better future for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones and your friends. It's this idea of more money to be able to do some of the things that you want to do, to be able to travel, to be able to take care of the people that you love, to be able to explore the world. And I think that so many of us in our day-to-day lives, myself included, and this week was a really good reminder of it, can just get into this trap of I'm just chopping the tree just for the sake of chopping the tree. And I'll be transparent. When it comes to work, dude, I can literally work 365 days of the year. I can. And I'm blessed enough to have a beautiful family to take Christmas off and spend time with. And every time I do, it always reminds me that it's so good to sharpen the axe. Cause I have this belief, I'm oh, if I stop working, then I'm going to fall behind. And that's this underlying feeling that I've always had. But taking the time to recharge and sharpen the axe and reconnect to the vision, dude, I had some major breakthroughs over the course of the last 2 days just because I was outside of my business and just connecting to my family, just because I was outside of my business and I was connecting to myself, just because I was outside of my business and I just had time to see things clearly instead of getting stuck in the mud. And at some points, I think that in order to make a major move in your life, you need to be able to zoom out and see where you are in regards to the place that you're trying to get to. Sometimes before you continue driving and taking the left turn and then taking the right turn and then going through the green light and then hitting the highway, before you continue to make decisions on which direction you're going, you need to zoom out, take a look at the map, and then ask yourself if you're even on the right path to get you closer to where you want to be. Then you can come back into the moment and decide, should you take the left turn or the right turn based on what the map said. And this podcast episode and this conversation and this train of thought is just to remind you that your entire fucking life is one that you could be creating. And your entire fucking life is one that you've already created. But a lot of you guys have just created your life based on automatic, monotonous programming that was passed down to you from your parents and their parents and their parents. And you're just living these predetermined set of habits and rituals that, your family decided was going to be your life. But my message and my idea is that you are ultimately the creator of your reality, and you are like have created everything up to this point and are creating everything moving forward. And you can make a decision on whatever type of life you want to live. And then every single day you can take one more step closer towards that one thing. And that to me is this idea of connection. And I think that so many people end up going through life constantly seeking motivation to do something. They're constantly seeking a success motivation video or somebody to speak words of affirmation into them or somebody to believe in them. And I truly believe that the best source of motivation does not come externally. I believe that the best source of motivation comes from internally. It's not to be motivated, it's to be inspired inside of me. Like to have the inspiration to come from within. That to me is inspiration. It's like it's inside of me. And the only way to get that inspiration from inside of you is to be connected to your vision on such a deep level that you can literally see it, touch it, taste it, hear it, smell it, and you can experience it before it's even yours. And then you don't have to motivate yourself to do what needs to get done. You feel compelled, you feel called, you feel inspired to do so. So we're on the last week of the year right now, you guys, and this is the time for reflection, to think back on your year and ask yourself what you could have done better. This is also a time for projection and asking yourself, like, if you could achieve anything and, failure was impossible, what goals, dreams, or aspirations would you set for next year to make that a reality? Like, what would you do if you knew that you couldn't fail? Now is the time to start getting clear on those things. Now is the time to start thinking about those things. Now is the time to take a slight step back from the day-to-day grind of your business so that you can see the bigger picture and you can make a better decision on where you want to go. So that is it. That is all. I hope you guys have the best day of your entire lives. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you and your family had a beautiful holiday, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.